Okay, so the Kagoku event was released a while ago, and my lazy self thought that now, after 3 weeks, will be the perfect time to create an updated Shindo lore video. So now those of you who are just new to this channel and don't know how this works, this is your first video that you've ever saw from me, I'm basically just gonna go over the entire timeline of the Shindo history, chronologically I'm pretty sure, including the Kagoku event now. And by the way, if you guys enjoy this Shindo lore stuff, please like and subscribe since I'm the only one who puts in the sweat and tears to do this kind of stuff. Details. First, you must understand what counts as canon and what counts as non-canon. The things I consider canon in this video are going to be anything with a backstory or a story at the moment. Stuff like Shindo's events, release scripts, clans, etc. Anything that isn't canon is just things that are there since it's a game. These things being game modes, regular bloodlines, and stuff like that. I'm not going to be including the Shindo CC community in here because 1, it's too much to follow, and 2, it's borderline canon since it includes characters from the canon timeline, but it's not really scripted. Background. There's several clans in the Shindo story, and there are several villages which the clans are assigned to. Just like Naruto, there are leaders for the different villages called the Sovereign. Dio Senko was the first Ember Sovereign, then was Bankai Akuma, Satori Akuma, then Ryan Akuma. The background of the Akuma. The clan that Shindo seems to revolve around the most is the Akuma. The Akuma has 2 types of people. Those who are born of the Sun Bloodline, and those who are born of the Moon Bloodline. The Sun Bloodline can awaken a Rengoku from deep-rooted inspiration, while the Moon Bloodline awakens the Rengoku from deep-rooted pain. There is a technique called True Rebirth, and it is a technique that harnesses the power of the sun, space, and the remains of Kagoku. The only way to retrieve the bones of Kagoku is to be born of the Sun Bloodline, possess the Eternal Rengoku, and then remove the bones from the Akuma Stone. Now we can get to the story. Immortality, the Fate Arc. Kagoku, the last of her clan, was in search of immortality. Living for thousands of years, she was nearing the end of her life. She took interest in 3 clans from the Shindo world: Seishin, of the mind, Azarashi, of the soul, and Kokotsu, the body. She orders the inventor, Eastwood Kurashi, to create a device to sustain her consciousness. After many years and countless deaths, the Fate Seal was created. The Fate Seal, which would inhabit a host and download consciousness, which is similar to data. Shindai Akuma, the Philosopher. Shindai Akuma was born thousands of years ago during the height of technology, which was led by Eastwood Kurashi. Although this was a notable time for Shindo, he preached against it. He was a revered warrior and philosopher who preached against technology. Later in the years, Shindai takes the mantle of the Emperor of Sovereigns and issues a royal decree to end the age of technology. But as time passes by, he starts to become crazy as the voice of Kagoku echoes in his mind. As she is manipulating him, Shindai digs up the bones of Kagoku. Since Shindai is born of the Sun Bloodline, he is able to cast True Rebirth and convinces his younger brother, Minakaze, to help cast it. Their goal in mind was to make sure no one would ever reinvent the Fate Seal to resurrect Kagoku. Eastwood Kurashi, feeling guilty for his actions, pleads to Shindai to redeem himself. He wants to help sabotage Kagoku during the Fate Ritual. Shindai agrees for his own reasons, since when the ritual begins, Kagoku will be left vulnerable for 30 seconds, and if you kill Kagoku, you would obtain her powers. But this plan fails. Shindai Akuma, Shindai's fall. Attempting to sabotage Kagoku came with the ultimate sacrifice. Kagoku became one with Shindai, and at the speed of light, Kagoku possesses Shindai and banishes Eastwood Kurashi to a separate dimension. And just as suddenly it happened, Kagoku disappears. Although everything happened in a split second, the Philosopher would never be the same again. Shindai Akuma, Lost History Arc. Although I said that Kagoku was the last of her clan, she did actually have a son. The son's name is Tensa, but since it's not actually his name, he names himself Sengoku. Shindai, not knowing that Sengoku is a descendant of Kagoku, takes him under his wing and raises him in his teachings. This happens shortly after Kagoku enters Shindai. So just to put into perspective, Shindai defeats Kagoku, is possessed, but he's back to normal right now, and then he finds a young Sengoku and trains him. After Shindai mysteriously disappears, people think he's died, and because of this, there's a struggle for power over who gets to be the Emperor. Young Sengoku wants to prove himself worthy, but since he's only a child, he automatically gets looked down on. Sengoku, the Conquest of Jujunes. Young Sengoku, to prove himself worthy of the title, tells the council that he will bring down their strongest enemy, the land of Jujunes. The council agrees to this, but they were confused on how a scrawny little child will bring down a large empire. But Sengoku has a plan. His plan was to use his secret power, one ability that brought down nations in just a few seconds. No doubt, Shindai taught him this power. this power being named Talk no Jutsu. Using this secret ability that is only seen once a century, Sengoku brought down Jujunes and became one of the greatest emperors Shindai history has ever known. This is because he ruled out of respect and he brought peace. Deva Rengoku, Destruction of Ember Village Arc. A long time after Sengoku, there is a team that is left by the Emperor Sovereign Bankai Akuma. This team consists of Deva, Alpha Rhyme Akuma, and Forged Akuma. Forged Akuma has two brothers, Ryan Akuma and Shiver Akuma. Sometime before year 250, Deva attacks the Ember Village. There is an unknown cause for this, but we do know that it's not due to Sensei Bankai's death. This part goes by kind of quickly since it doesn't really have that much impact on the story other than Deva becoming a criminal and a new Ember Village being remade in YC 250. A few years later, on YC 250, Sensei Bankai passes away. Satori Akuma, the Scorching Red Sun Arc. Sometimes your family won't appreciate what you've done for them. They'll turn their backs on you after you've sacrificed your life. It's the curse of being an Akuma. They won't have the mental fortitude to create a new path and change within. They'll just follow the words of the powerful. These are Bankai Akuma's dying words to Satori Akuma. He is foreshadowing the terrible actions Forged Akuma will make. As the Emperor Kage passes away, Satori realizes how evil Ryan and Shiver have become. Satori only sees one way to save the Akuma bloodline and to attempt to save Forged from his fall to darkness. He must slaughter each and every member of the Akuma clan. Forged Akuma, Forged Rengoku Arc. Forged Akuma runs away from home. Forged, since he only has one eye, which is sad for an Akuma since you can't unlock your samurai spirit without one, gives up on becoming a Shindo. But his brothers, Ryan and Shiver Akuma, who have all betrayed Forged, are now leading Ember, and as Forged says, is being manipulated. Forged didn't like the way Ember was heading and started training. During the few months period of his training, his friends, Alpharima and Satori and Deva, who are now criminals, checks up on him. After a few months, a mysterious figure appeared before Forged. This mysterious figure is actually Shindai Akuma. He offers power to, quote, change this accursed world. Forged falls to the ground crying, saying, my own brothers couldn't understand my reasoning, my ideals. What makes you think you'll understand me? The mysterious figure replies saying, on Bankai's deathbed, his last wish was to rewrite his wrong. Alpharima Akuma, Satori Akuma, and Deva always checked up on you because of Bankai's final wishes. He wanted you to make something of yourself. What we now know from this mysterious person's quote is that Sensei Bankai has done something bad. Anyways, the mysterious figure begins to rip something out of his body, the blood began to go everywhere, which turned the sky red. Kind of gross. But Forged, being a student of Bankai, realizes that this was actually similar to Bankai's genjutsu. Then the mysterious figure gives an eye, this eye being the eye of Rengoku. Shindai Rengoku, the resurrection of the tailed spirits. Shindai Akuma, possessed by Kagoku, unleashes ultimate sunflower desolation. This move, which could single-handedly destroy the entire world. But Borimaki, the son of Naramaki, and Ghost Azarashi, the reincarnation of Eastwood Karashi, help fight him. They resurrect all tailed spirits and Shindai's younger brother, Minakaze. As the battle continues, Shindai realizes that he is going to lose, so in a desperate attempt to win, he summons the greatest tailed spirit of all, the Ten Tails. Kagoku, the final Rengoku. Kagoku finally takes over Shindai since Shindai loses. She comes out of him, and the simplest way to explain this is that Shindai becomes Kagoku, but it's Kagoku, not Shindai. We don't really know what happens afterwards since this event has such a short cutscene, but I'm assuming that we defeat her. Now, although this wasn't much of a change from the last video, it's still an updated version, so if you guys enjoy these Shindo lore content, please make sure you like and subscribe since I'm the only one who does these kinds of stuff on YouTube. Well, thank you guys for watching, I'm StarBlast, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!